Today on Awakening with Amy, why your manifesting isn't working. We're going to do a deep dive today into all the reasons why what you want is not manifesting. And then we'll give some solutions on how to solve it. So thank you so much for being here. Welcome. I'm Amy Valentine, here to awaken within you your mindset that you can be, do, and have any desire so you can create your ideal life. So today we're going to talk about manifesting and what are the reasons why it's not manifesting the way you want it to be, right? We're going to answer questions like, what am I doing wrong? And where's my stuff? And what should I do differently? And what processes work and what doesn't work? We're going to answer all those questions in this video today. Before we get started, just a reminder, in the description below is a link to a free meditation, and it comes with an affirmation guide. And also there is a journal you can purchase on Amazon if you are interested. So, deep dive today into manifesting when you feel like nothing is going your way, right? What is going wrong? First, let's define once again what manifesting really means. And it's really just unseen, making the unseen seen. Like Bashar says, manifesting does not mean that I'm bringing something that's out there that already exists and bringing it to me, right? Like sometimes we get confused. That's kind of what the law of attraction seems to imply, that I'm manifesting something that's out there to me. No, it's about as within, so without. As I am within that unseen world, that unseen reality, my thoughts, my feelings, my assumptions, then it becomes seen without, right? I cannot experience, that's what manifesting means, to experience. I cannot experience physically what I'm not already within. And a desire, what is a desire? Every desire, I don't care what it is, if it's a bag of money you want, if it's a specific person, if it's a new job, if it's a business, if it's a car, it doesn't matter what the specific desire is. In order to manifest what you want, you have to understand what a desire is. It's a divine urge to be more of what you already are. It's an urge to expand in love versus so often one of the biggest pitfalls is a desire comes to us and we doubt it. Why? Because we have learned along the way, we have learned to mistake desiring something as a need, that I need to have it, I need to make it happen. So now we're desiring from lack. That urge, that desire, it is essential that you really let it sink in, that you couldn't even desire it if it weren't already available to you. It's God, source energy, infinite intelligence telling you it's yours to claim it. It's yours unconditionally. That's the key. And we have to reorient our mind. Like Neville Goddard says, the undisciplined man, the mind, the human mind, if undisciplined, will just go back to its habits, the habit of thought. And what are the habits? Those unconscious tendencies that we took on growing up, right, in childhood. And until we become aware of those and question those, then we're at the mercy of unconscious thoughts. It's really, really important. So the key is to become aware from that place that my desire is a divine urge for me to be more. And when that feels natural, then we can grasp what manifesting really means. Because every time we're manifesting something that we no longer prefer, and it seems like a cycle, what's happening is we're not questioning our assumptions. We're not becoming aware what we're assuming to be true. And when we don't question those assumptions, that's implying that we feel that our life, our experiences, who we think we are, is unchangeable and solid. And I'm here to tell you that is not the truth. That is not the higher truth, because it doesn't make sense. We're not here to create constriction or limitation. We're here to create as I am, as source, as God, to know ourselves as one with the ultimate creator. Why? To have an experience, a physical experience, so God could know itself through us. Powerful. So, right? So the common pitfalls to manifesting is we're trying to manifest something, trying to make something happen, trying to create something from a place of lack. And it never works. It never lasts, right? You know, you've proven this to yourself over and over again. So remember that God defines the means. Your only job, like Neville Goddard says, is to define your end. What is my end? And no matter what the package it comes in, the specifics, the end is always the same: to know myself as fulfillment, here to create more fulfillment. That's the reorientation. That's the persistence Neville's talking about. And number two, another common pitfall is that we try to deny the reality of the unwanted. We try to push it away. We try to run away from it. We try to pretend it's not there, when all that does is make it more real. Again, we're resisting it, fighting it, saying it shouldn't be this way. And so when that is us doubting our power, that we can't manifest around what we no longer want, or making that more real, that's the identity we're coming from. And when we doubt ourselves, we're doubting our creator. And it's just, the universe just gives us back more of who we say we are. So the whole key is to embrace manifesting as an experience. That it's not about the stuff. It's not about the specific person. When we put undue importance on the creation, we're forgetting that we're the creator. We're forgetting our true power. And so then that's why we feel that lack and that constriction. And that's our indicator of what we're doing, that we're separating ourselves from what we really want, right? Thinking we're not enough, thinking we have to do more to be more, when it's about reorienting our identity. Who am I is the only thing we ever need to ask ourselves. Who am I? Am I defining myself through the physical world, through what is or what was? Or am I defining myself as Source sees me, as oneness with love, with fulfillment, here to expand that love? That's what love does. It expands. And what does fear do? It constricts. So let's read a Neville Goddard quote and dive deeper into this video today. The cornerstone on which all things are based is man's concept of himself. He acts as he does, and he has the experiences that he does because his concept of himself is what it is, and for no other reason. Had he a different concept of himself, he would act differently and have different experiences. The cornerstone on which all things are based, all things manifested are based, is the concept that you have of yourself. So the ultimate concept is your oneness with your creator, is to remind yourself. Again, we're reminding ourselves because those thoughts of doubt and limitation and lack seem so real, but when we question them, they start to crumble under the weight of their own falseness, right? So by assuming the identity as I am versus I am not yet, that is what it is to be fulfillment. That is the real meaning of what Neville Goddard meant by the wish fulfilled. It's not a fleeting emotion of happiness, of satisfaction. Fulfillment is our natural state. So when we identify that and make fulfillment normal and natural and stop identifying with the lack, I am not yet, that's when everything changes. Our whole perception of our life changes. And we start to ignite that inner fulfillment. And again, the missing link, what's missing when you're asking, what am I doing wrong? What more do I need to do? Why is this process not working? The missing link is that identity within your inner conviction that I am that I am. When we define ourselves through the physical seen reality, we're using the reasoning mind, which is only limited by the evidence that it can see. And then it comes from that identity, so we keep seeing more evidence of it. We can only experience what our consciousness allows, meaning who and what we say we are. This is so huge. And unless you're willing to be the uncritical observer of your assumptions, of who and what you say you are, your self-concept, like Neville said, everything, the cornerstone of your entire life is your self-concept, who you believe you are. And when you believe you have to fix anything or be a better person, or it's not about that. What he's saying is let everything exist, because in existence, everything exists. You can't get rid of anything. We only keep what we don't want alive with our attention and focus, without and thinking that that is the only way, that it's solid, that it's the only possibility. I know it feels so real, right? Especially when the creditors are calling, or when your SP isn't texting you, and when you don't have what you want to have, right? It feels so real, but it's only ideas about yourself in relationship to everything else. That's all it is. It's old news. It's just old, dead thoughts, right? You have to remind yourself that it's not solid. The physical reality is always moving. It's always changing into who and what I believe I am. So why not look at, instead of trying to get rid of or deny the reality of the things that you see that you don't want, like, that person isn't behaving the way you want them to, or you don't have the things you want to have, instead of and making that so unchangeable and final, remind yourself, no facts are final. That everything is always unfolding into more of what I assume. And so I'm not going to define myself through what it appears to be. I'm going to define myself through what those appearances are turning into fulfillment, because that's what a real desire is an urge to expand into more, to expand love, not to expand fear, right? So when you're hungry to have something, when you're infatuated with that person, or infatuated with that desire, that car, that house, or whatever, you are desiring from lack. You're saying, I am not. You're identifying with, I'm not enough. So know that infatuation has nothing to do with love. It is the opposite of love. It is fear, lack, and worry that I can't have what I want. So you're defining the appearances as final. You know that song, the Rolling Stones song, I can't always get what I want? No, that's not God. God says, you always can have what you want. I already gave it to you. You just have to claim it. So when you're no longer hungry, no longer infatuated, no longer longing for any desire, that is your faith in that unseen reality, that you know the unseen is going to become seen, because as within, so without. And that's what the persistence, persisting in the love of my desire, persisting in knowing, to remind myself that I forget sometimes, but remind myself I am one with the Creator. And that Creator is only ever giving me what I first give myself, because that's what it means to have free will. I mean, that's unconditional love right there, right? So let's read something from Corinthians. And I've said this before, I don't have to really say this, but I'm not a Bible person. I don't read the Bible. I read Neville Goddard, and he breaks down the Bible, the symbolism in the verses. And that's why I like to weave them into some of the videos, because it's so powerful, I believe. So I'm hoping that you believe it's powerful too. So this is from 2 Corinthians. We do not look at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things that are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal. That wraps up the whole reason why you're not manifesting what you desire, is because that when we're supposed to look at what is unseen, because that's the eternal light, that's the eternal promise of love, of fulfillment. That's your true identity. I am that I am. I am unconditional love, here to experience that in a physical way. Not just once, not just twice, but again and again and again. So when I no longer desire something in the seen world, remind myself it's only a temporary extension of me. So it's no big deal. Bless it and move on. Use this process. I call it the stoplight process. Stop, yield, and go. Anytime you feel that constriction within, stop. And remind yourself, who am I? What am I focused on? What am I aware of in this moment? And just breathe. Yield. Breathe. Be still and know. Remind yourself that your oneness with God, that is what fulfillment means. That when I desire it, it means I already have it within me, because it couldn't even come to me unless it was already available to me. So breathe into that fulfillment and then go. Be appreciative, be thankful, say thank you in advance. That is preparation. That's what true prayer is, preparing for your good, expecting your good, remembering everything is temporary in the seen world, but what is not temporary, what is eternal, is that unseen, unconditional being, that love that you are, that you're here in a physical body to remember and to create from that identity. And that is how you manifest what you desire. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you like this content, there's more to come. Thank you for liking and sharing the video. That's how we get the message out to more people. And thank you for commenting. Comment below on what you're manifesting. If you're having any successes, if you're having any struggles, comment below, and we can all help each other out, get reconnected to that eternal nature, that divine essence that we are, and remind ourselves that every desire is ours for the taking. Until next week, see you soon.